just enjoy your sense of humor. You're like a tumor. You're in my head all day.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl Millie, and I'm back. Did y'all miss me? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, then girl, you're in for a rude awakening, okay? Today I wanted to give y'all a different type of video. I know I've been like missing in action, and it's just been a lot going on. I'm not gonna lie, being in school and working and having a life is a lot. So I be having to pick and choose what I want to put my energy and my effort into. That way I'm not totally empty. If I was to go to school full-time, do YouTube full-time, go to work full-time, still have a life, I would be crazy. I would be all over the place. So this is my side hobby, and I'm happy to be back. Y'all, I got some tea today. Y'all. I feel like I have sat on this for a minute now, just trying to heal from it and get over it. And now that I'm finally over it, I want to share it with y'all because I feel like a lot of young ladies and even men can learn from what I went through, because I encountered a real master manipulator type of guy, and I never in my life, I gotta take the glasses off for this, I never in my life have experienced this. So I want to share the tea with y'all. So we have to give him a name. Let's call him, what should be his name? We're gonna call him Trey. I met him on Instagram. He started following me and DMing me and liking my pictures and stuff. And I couldn't really see his face though. Like I couldn't really see his profile or like the pictures on his profile, all of that stuff. He was real like low key, and he only had pictures of him like playing baseball and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like he seems cool, he seems sweet, like he was applying that pressure in the DMs. So I'm like, okay, I'll respond, I guess. I don't know why, but I responded. And then he ended up following my spam account on Instagram, which I don't really let anybody in my spam, but that day I just magically followed him and let him in. So that's where it started. He was DMing me and he was saying stuff like, actually it was my birthday. It was my birthday at the time, and he was sliding up talking about, girl, I'm the type to put you in a house and put a ring on your finger for your birthday and all this other stuff. And he was like, where we going? I'm gonna take you on a trip, blah blah. Red flag number one. I'm like, you don't even know me. Like I could be crazy and you're trying to take me on a trip? No. Red flag. But it was low-key cute. You know how the red flags be low-key cute? Like like, okay, you want to put me in a house and put a ring on my finger, and you want to take me on a trip, like, cause it's me. Like, who wouldn't want to do that for Millie? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'm going along with it, whatever. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the messages on my computer so I can stay on track. I got real bad ADHD. It's crazy to say that this happened 16 weeks ago. Like, to me, it feel like that shit just happened yesterday. Like, I'm over it. Of course, I know everything happens for a reason, blah, blah, blah. But you know, those feelings still spring up. So I'm human. So y'all, we was just talking all of July. Like we was just talking. This is right before I come back to school. We're just getting to know each other. So then I come back to school and he asked for my number and all of that. He's already graduated, by the way, so he wasn't here, but he lives close by in another city. He asked for my number. We were texting, getting to know each other. And y'all, I started to really like him. He played baseball. He was very handsome. Like from his profile, I couldn't tell that he was handsome. But when he FaceTimed me on the first day of school, and he was so fine, y'all. I was like, okay, this is my type. And he was just gassing me up. I had this pretty little dress on, and he was just, you know, saying how beautiful I looked. And he had your girl like He had me thinking about him all day, y'all. So I'm like, okay, this could be something. A couple weeks are going by and we're just talking. We're just texting, talking on the phone, but it's not no real like, oh, I want to see you. He's not that far, by the way. He's the most, I think he's 2 hours away, something like that. He's not that far. And he always used to say like he's gonna come see me, he's gonna come see me, blah blah blah. But he wasn't making the effort to come see me. I'm like, okay, something's going on here, because I'm used to a nigga like, what you doing today? Like, let's go get some food. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for him to not want to see me, and this is like a couple weeks of us just talking, I felt like that was weird. But he worked 2 jobs, so I knew he was busy. I knew he had just bought a house. He had just like, well, he's in the process of buying a house, I think, during this time. And so yeah, he would call me on his breaks. We would talk on his breaks. He would call me when he got home. We would FaceTime. We would do all of that. And I was just like falling more and more for him, because the way he talked, like, he was so patient with me. I don't have no patience, y'all. I don't have no patience. So he was just helping me through like the little moments that I would get frustrated. Sorry, y'all. That's my bracelet. I need to just stop fiddling. But he would like help me through moments where I was frustrated. We would talk about our days. I can't believe I'm telling this, because I'm about to drop a bomb on y'all. So we would just like talk for a couple weeks, right? So then one day, he ghosts me for a whole day. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm not fucking with this. Like, So I'm actually telling myself, like, breathe, it's okay. A lot of people are busy, and I have to realize that not everybody is gonna be on my jock all day, every day. I gave it to God at this point. I'm like, okay, God, if it's something, reveal it to me. In the beginning, I knew this is the red flag. I knew it was something in the beginning. Anyways, so he calls me one night and he sounded really, really concerned. And I was like, what is going on? He had a lot of anxiety in his voice, but I was sleeping. So he was like, call me when you wake up. So I'm like, okay. I think the next day was like a Saturday. So I ended up calling him the next day, and I don't think he answered. But then he ended up calling me later that night, I believe. He had the same anxiety in his voice. He kept asking me, like, am I alone? Like, is there anybody in my room? Because I always had a homegirl or something in my room. And he was like, are you alone? And I was like, yeah, I'm alone. And in my head, I'm like, oh, he want to come see me? Shit. No, that nigga did not want to come see me. That nigga actually told me that he had just found out that he was having a baby. And he's saying that he just found out, and that she is about like 5 months, right about to find out what the gender is. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, you're just finding out? I'm blue. I'm like, I can't be angry because you just found out, right? So I'm like, oh, this is a lie. I just automatically was like, this is a lie. I don't know about this. Let me sleep on it. Because we were just talking. He's frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm like, I don't really know. Mind you, we haven't even met yet. And you're telling me that you have a baby on the way. And that she's 5 months, so past any type of, and then he's telling me like, he's not with her, like this is somebody he was dealing with and they were just having sex and she didn't want a relationship and all this stuff, so he couldn't believe that she was pregnant. Situations like that, I get extra empathetic, and I try not to judge people. I just have a lot of sympathy for them. So I'm like, okay, like I don't want to leave him while he's down. Like I don't want to kick him when he's down. Like he's stressed out, he's angry. So I'm gonna see it through a little bit longer. But I told him, hey, it's crunch time. Nigga, you need to lock in. And if you want me, you need to show that you want me. You need to bring your ass here and come see me. And he started like making excuses because I had brought up that he wasn't coming to see me. And he started making up excuses, talking about, oh, he didn't want to like do too much. Hey y'all, so I'm sitting here editing the video And I just want to say that I am so embarrassed even editing all of this stuff in and like counting the red flags and stuff, but I am forcing myself to post it because I know it's another young lady that was as gullible or is as gullible as I was. And I want everyone to learn from what I went through, because I know if you don't have no guidance in relationships, then you are going to make all types of mistakes. But I want this to be a mistake that you are able to learn from me. So that's all I wanted to say. Love y'all. He wanted to get to know me before he came and seen me, so it wasn't weird. Mind you, we've been talking for like a couple weeks. Nigga, you know me enough. Like, now we're on the phone and stuff, so like, you know me enough. Like, you feel the vibes. At this point, we're just taking it day by day, still getting to know each other. The baby is not like a prominent topic at this point, because I'm like, hey, it's not my baby. You just found out you have a lot to deal with, so figure that shit out. I believe it was the day or the weekend that they were finding out what they were having. He told me he had to go out of town and go, because I wanted to see him. And so he was like, actually, I can't this weekend because I have to go out of town and go to the gender reveal ultrasound. Mind you, she lives in a different state close to Alabama. So he had to drive there and go and do that. So I'm like, okay, bet. I'm giving him space all day, you know, giving him encouragement in the morning. Have a great day. I'm that type of girl. Have a great day. Happy Friday. You know, I'm that type of girl. Have a great day. Like, do your best. So I gave him that encouragement and gave him space during this day. He did not talk to me the whole day. I went to his Instagram and he posted that he was having a boy. So what else did he say? He was just saying God is good, all this stuff. And I'm like, you haven't like talked to me. Mind you, he's calling me his girl and stuff. So I'm like, shoot, any man of mine is gonna make sure he communicate with me. So I think I called him, or I texted him, I said, hey, are you good? And he was like, yes, like it's a boy, blah blah blah. He was like, he just don't really know what to do, like it's a lot going on. So I'm like, okay, take your time, take your space. So fast forward to September, and it's time for him to come meet me. We've been doing all this talking, we've been doing all this, and I'm like, okay, I want to see you. And so he asked me, he's like, you free this weekend? I'll come see you. I'm like, bet, I need Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or actually, I think I said I need Saturday and Sunday. Like, we need, you know what I'm saying? So then he comes and he takes me. Wait, first of all, he comes and he pulls up with some flowers. This is actually my vase. It's actually my ashtray now, but anyways. Anyway, so he brought me some beautiful flowers, and we went to, and it was my favorite flowers, sunflowers. And we went out to eat. I took him to my little spot. If you know, you know. What did we do? We went to the movies, and it was just great vibes. It's so funny because afterwards I was just like, wow, it was an outer body experience, blah blah blah. Mind y'all, I hadn't smoked weed in like a minute, and so we had smoked some weed before, and so I thought I was just having this magical experience with him. Everything just felt so good, and da da da. I was just high. So we at dinner talking, and I see his wallpaper, and it was ultrasound. So I was like, oh wow, like you're really having a baby, like that's crazy. He like, are you really sure you want to do this? And I'm like, I think so, like I think I am. And he was like, you know, like you're gonna play a role too, like talk about, you know, in the baby's life. I'm like, okay, like yeah, like, and he could tell I'm just nervous as shit. So he's just trying to, you know, cheer me up, whatever, like make it sound like a good thing. So I'm like, I got this, like we could do this. And I'm like, I'm so excited for you, like you get to teach him all of these things, like, you know, we're just talking about it, whatever. We go to the movies was okay. We ended up leaving earlier because we went to go see It Ends With Us, and it's actually my favorite movie, my favorite book, but the movie was, so we ended up leaving the movie theater, but like the whole night was just hilarious. We ended up going into the wrong movie theater at first. It was an Usher concert movie. We're like, this is not It Ends With Us. So we're rolling. We had took some shots too, so we was lit, and it was just a great time. I was like, wow, this is a great start to like our love story. Girl, delusional. So then we go back to No. He had to go find a hotel because clearly I stay in a dorm. So we're not, his big ass and my little ass not finna sleep in this tiny ass bed. So we had to go find a hotel. Well, he found a hotel. And I fell asleep while he was riding around trying to figure out. He was like, we're gonna go look at a couple and see which one's the best one. And so that's what he did while I was asleep, passenger princess. He finds a hotel, we spend the night together, whatever, and you know, we do. He tells me that he loves me, and I just couldn't say nothing. I'm like, how do you love me? And he was like, I know you're not gonna say it back. I know you probably think I'm crazy, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I love you, Amelia. And he just like, and he would call me Million. So like when we was doing the do, he would like, I love you, Million, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't think this is right, but it feels good. So I just proceeded. We spent the night together. It was the best time. We were cracking up, rolling, just entertaining each other. And then we spent a little bit of the morning together. And then he brought me back to my room. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I think things were just good for a while. And then he ghosted me for 2 days. So I'm just like, okay, I'm praying extra hard, like, God, please show me what's going on, because this is not it. I have attachment issues. So like when you just disappear, it makes me start to think a lot. So what is going on? He writes me these long paragraphs basically saying that he's sorry and that I feel like an idiot, but he's saying that he fell too hard for me very fast, and he said that that's not a problem, but the problem is that his baby mother told him that she loves him too. And he tried to just make it seem like it was just this out of like nowhere experience, like she just was like, oh, I'm in love with you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, it's not adding up. I'm not taking the bullshit. I'm like, it's not adding up. You need to make it make sense or I'm the fuck out. Go get it right with her. I don't know what y'all have going on, but at this point I feel like y'all together. So like, what's going on? Child, he just like, no, I'm telling you what's going on, Millie. I want to be with you. I'm in love with you, da 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 da. We only seen each other once. So I'm like, but he fighting for me. At this point in my life, I was still going through a lot of character development, and I was learning my worth in this time. I didn't have great discernment. No, because I did have great discernment. I just wasn't, I was more gullible than I am now. Let's say that. I was more gullible. He just, you know, fighting for me in text. But he fighting for me, He like, I want to figure this out. Like, I don't want to be with her. I just want things to, he was like, I want to do it right with you. I know eventually one day y'all gonna have to meet, blah, blah, blah. So he just like, he want to make sure I got all the pieces. I'm like, okay. So I eventually forgave him, and great again. We were planning to go to the pumpkin patch, and he was like, he ain't never been to the pumpkin patch before, but he wants to make some memories with me and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm excited. So we plan to go to the pumpkin patch, all of that, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but we're still talking every day, FaceTime every day, probably even more at this point. We're falling asleep on the phone every night, like all of that type of stuff. Homecoming comes, and he hyping me up. He like, girl, I want to marry you. Like, you just look so good, because the fence was eating. So he just like, you look so good. Like, I want to marry you, da 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 da. Oh, I forgot to leave this part. He was also claiming to be a God-fearing man. That God was just the center of his life, and that had got me, because that was what I was looking for. And he was saying how he prayed to God for a person like me, and God sent him me. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I really pray for somebody like you too. So I was just very, very excited. I feel so stupid right now. Homecoming comes, and it was Friday, the concert, and I asked him to come see me. And he was like, he will come see me, but he had to start moving stuff into his house the next day. So it was like a tight window in when he could come see me, and we ended up missing it. And I was like, dang, like, I feel like he didn't put enough effort into coming to see me, because he could have. if he wanted to. So that kind of hurt my feelings, but he was like hinting to me like this night that he wanted me to move in with him, and that was I think I was like, yeah, that's our house, like I'll be there. And he was like, yeah, like he was going along with it. We just acting delusional. And so I had told him like my winter break is coming up and I think I'm gonna stay in Alabama so I can spend time with you. You know, he got his new house, so I'm like, I want to come spend time with you, blah blah blah. And he like, okay, bet, like let's make it happen. Then he ghosts me. This is the end of homecoming week and he ghosts me. And it was my homegirl's birthday, so we're at the pool, we're taking shots, we're getting drunk, blah blah, and I call him. I knew like something was wrong, I believe, like because he had ghosted me again, and I just felt like a relationship is not what he needed. I felt like it was something mentally going on, because I feel like people only ghost like that when, hold on, somebody's calling me. Okay, y'all, my homegirl had just called me, and yeah, we was just talking about something, and I need to wrap this story time up because it's Valentine's Day for me and the homegirls, and so I need to like pack my bag. But where I left off was I knew something was off, because when you ghost people, you don't do that for no reason unless you just don't fucking like them. And he is like saying he's in love with me, he's just infatuated with me, just all of this stuff. So I'm like, okay, it can't be that he just don't fuck with me, like, you know what I'm saying? This is the second time. I think I told y'all he ghosted me the first time. So this is the second time that he just disappears, and I'm just not fucking with it. Like, I'm like, okay, we're done. We're done. You won. You got it. And he was saying like how he, you know, he was still texting, he loved me, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, this is not what you need right now, so I'm gonna step away. So one night, me and the homegirls get a little tipsy. I forgot what we was drinking, but we was drinking some. And it just gave me some liquid courage. So I reactivate my Instagrams, because at this point I'm heartbroken. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, I'm like, this man keep ghosting me. I don't know what's going on. So I reactivate my spam account. Mind you, the only way you can, just keep this in mind, the only way that you can find my spam account is in my main account's bio, right? The link is in my bio, whatever it is. The @ is in my bio. My main account was not activated. It was deactivated. But my spam account, I reactivated. And so I seen that a girl, or I left this part out, y'all. Stick with me, I got bad ADHD. I left this part out. So a while ago, like a month or two ago, prior, actually, no, homecoming week, I get a request, and it's from this lady. I said lady, she's a young lady. She's older than me, but young lady. And I see her follow me, and I'm like, oh, she looked like she went to state, blah, blah, blah. She was following my mutuals. So I was like, she's pretty. I'll follow her back. I will follow her back, just being a girl's girl. I didn't think none of it until the next morning. I got a call from him. He's telling me good morning. He don't never call me in the morning to talk about good morning. And he was like, why you and my baby mama follow each other? Like, what's going on? So I'm like, whoa, that's the baby mama. Whoa, that was the big first, like, whoa. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not on no type of time. She followed me. Hey, I'm gonna still follow her to see, if I need to see something. Fast forward back to the night that me and my homegirls was getting tipsy or whatever, and she followed my spam. Mind you, my other account was deactivated, so she had to search up my spam to follow me. I'm like, what a fucking coincidence. I got a little liquor in me. I DM her. I'm like, hey, like, how did you find my spam? I'm just curious. And she's just beating around the bush like a motherfucker. Like, and it's no shade to her. Like, we still good. Like, me and you still good, girl, if you watching this. She's like, oh yeah, like we follow the same people, blah, blah, blah. No, we only got one mutual on my spam. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm just like, okay, but if it is something, like, can you please, like, say it? Because I hate being around the bush. And she was like, okay, I'll say it. Me and him are together. Like, do y'all talk or something? And my heart just dropped. I was like, whoa. We're sitting there DMing, and it goes into the next morning, and she's telling me that, child, that house that he was buying, that house was for them. She paying that shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So she telling me that they been together this whole time. They've been together on and off for 5 years. And she was telling me how when he ghosts me, that's her coming into town because she don't live in Alabama. So that's her coming into town and he hurry up and hides. She said that the way she found out about me was that it was a name in his phone named My Million or Million, something like that, and it kept calling. And she searched up Millie on Instagram. Smart girl. I took some notes from you, babe. She said she found my name on Instagram. That's why she followed me, blah, blah, blah. And she just wanted, her intuition was flagging. So she was trying to see what was going on with her man. Like, they having a whole boy together, a baby boy together. So she like, what's going on? She told me she was asking him. He wouldn't, like, he just kept saying it was nothing, that I was nobody. We're just DMing and she is just telling me like all of this stuff about him. And I'm just like, wow, like, it's insane. I told her everything that we did. I sent her screenshots of messages and all of that. And I was so heartbroken, y'all. Like, I could not believe it. I left her alone, cussed him the fuck out, blocked him. And then probably like a couple weeks later, maybe even a month later, somebody is blowing my shit down on no caller ID. So I'm like, what the fuck? And shit, if she see this, sorry, but I'm airing you out, nigga. Like how you did me. Sorry, but we both finna be hurt in this motherfucking situation. Yeah, I get a call from no caller ID like a couple times, like 5 times. And so I'm like, okay, this time I'm gonna answer. So then I answer it and I'm like, hello? He like, Millie, or he like something like that, and he just sounds so sad. And I just started busting out crying, laughing. I'm like, boy, what do you want? Like, he's sitting there like, it wasn't supposed to go like this. You wasn't supposed to be the one that got away, da da da. You supposed to be with me, all this other stuff. I'm like, you have a whole family. What do you want from me? Do you want my soul, nigga? Like, leave me alone. So we're sitting there, I'm trying to let him talk a little bit, but he just sounded so stupid. So I just said, don't call my phone again. Click, and I hung up. And then maybe like a couple months later, a month or two later, I was at home on break in my feelings, and I unblocked him. And I asked him if we could have a conversation. He said yeah. He said yeah, we could have a conversation. And then afterwards, I don't know if she came home, I don't know if something happened, but he was like, actually, never mind. We don't need to have a conversation. Mind you, I'm just a person that would like closure. I would like to know what's going on, why you did what you did to me, because I'm a very understanding person. But this situation taught me that there's no closure needed. Like, you just gotta move on. So yeah, he stalked me. Probably still, he actually is still stalking me, because I just seen him in my fucking profile views on TikTok in an old TikTok account that I don't even use. I just re-downloaded TikTok on my phone, so you know, it logged me into my old one, and I seen that he was watching my stuff because he's blocked on everything. I couldn't believe it. I was rolling. So yeah, this is probably the only thing that he's not blocked on, and I think Facebook. So he'll probably see this. Hey. But yeah, y'all, that is the story time, and I just had to heal because I experienced one heartbreak during freshman year, another heartbreak during sophomore and junior year, then another one junior year, and then now this is senior year. So that's 4 years back to back. So I had to take a break from men and just get myself together and heal. And so I actually spent about four months by myself and just cut it all out. And I healed. I'm still healing, but I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better to share this with y'all. Y'all listen to the red flags. Do not be like me and be like, oh, I'm just so great. Why wouldn't he want to marry me on the second day? I'm just so beautiful. Why wouldn't he want to, do this and that and that? He has an agenda. A real man that is interested in you is going to take his time to get to know you. He's not going to rush things. He's going to pursue you in a way that's respectful, in a way that does not leave you confused, that does not have you questioning where he's at, what he's doing. And he's not going to put you in a... Honestly, a real man would have told me, hey, I got a situation going on and I cannot be with you. I just found out I'm having a baby, and he did not had just found out he was having a baby. He had been found out he was having a baby. He just caught himself trying to live a double life. It just blew me because you found me. You preyed on me. And here we are. But you did teach me a lot of things. You did teach me a lot of things, good things and bad things. And I'm very grateful for what I went through in that situation. And I'm very, very wiser now, a lot more wiser now. That's the tea. That's the tea. I might add receipts in here. I might. Just out of respect for her, because I have nothing against you and I wish you the best. I wish y'all's child the best. I hope that everything is going good. But I definitely had to tell my side of the story because this was some crazy shit and I probably left a whole lot out. I have other stories from other men too that I've dealt with the craziest of the crazy. And now, as I date, because I'm just now, after about 5-6 months, jumping back into dating, and I'm very, very much enjoying it. I keep emphasizing everything, like very, very, but I'm very much enjoying it. I'm very much taking my time and getting to know these people, trying to see what I like and what I don't like, and who trying to play me and who not trying to play me. I never seen a healthy relationship growing up. I never seen what that looked like, so I'm learning on my own, and that's why I have so much patience. I'm not calling myself a dumbass bitch. I'm not saying that I'm this and that, because I'm learning, and this is my first time experiencing. That was honestly the first grown man. When I was a freshman, I dealt with a 25-year-old, but he wasn't shit. He was not mature at all. He had his shit together for sure, had money, all that, but he just was not it. This was the first man that had a career, that had a plan, that had a nice house, that had all this stuff, had his shit together, God-fearing, all of this stuff. So I took a chance and it taught me a lot. So now when my next grown man approaches me, I know what to do. So that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this story time, and I can't wait to give y'all more content. I'm coming, y'all. I might even vlog today because we're having Valentine's, so I might vlog that with the homegirls. But until then, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.